See, y'all know me. I scroll these internet streets. And I was on the New York Post when I saw this. It says Chris Watts has found love while behind bars and already applied for a marriage license. Now, for those of you that might not know the name Chris Watts or might not remember Chris Watts, let me give you a quick little rundown on why, for me, this is a little bit like, what? Chris Watts is currently serving 5 life sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 are consecutive, 2 are concurrent, for taking the life of his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters that were 4 and 3 at the time. So let's read this title again. Chris Watts has found love while behind bars and already applied for a marriage license. Which one of you stupid heifers is out here dating a man that is not only on 5 life sentences, but for taking the wife of his, you got me even talking crazy, taking the life of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters, 4 and 3. Y'all are that desperate and you cannot find somebody out here in the free world that is less crazy than him? Seriously? Do you have a child while making these stupid decisions? I'm not confused, but I'm befuddled. Because why? Just why? Let's scroll down and read this. It says, Twisted family life taker Chris Watts has found love while serving a life in prison, and he's already planning to get married according to a report. Now, he's currently 41 and is in a relationship with Lizzie Henderson, who is 39. Mind you, in 2018, when he took the life of his pregnant wife, she was 34 years old. In 2018. That was 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, when Lizzie Henderson was 31, Chris Watts was taking the life of his wife, pregnant wife, and his 2 daughters. Now, Lizzie Henderson is 39, and she's an Ohio realtor, and she's already relocated to Wisconsin to be closer to her new crazy life-taking boo. Henderson, the 39-year-old lady, has confirmed that she was in a relationship with Watts and admitting it could be seen as weird and giving few details on how she met the prisoner who claims to be a born-again Christian. Quote, how things began is between me, him, and God, she told the Daily Mail. Asked how she felt about Watts' unthinkable crimes, the smitten new love says, quote, he knows how I feel. I don't know all the people involved, but I would want to respect them, end of quote. Henderson visited Watts 20 times in 2025 and spent Christmas Day with him in 2024 and was spotted having a steamy makeout session with the mass life-taker just 1 day after the 7th anniversary of the life-taking of his pregnant 34-year-old wife and 2 daughters who were 4 and 3. He put his hands around his pregnant wife's neck, took her out of here, then took his 2 daughters in the car, took the now lifeless, no longer alive, pregnant wife to an oil field, buried her out there, and then he did the same thing to his 4 and 3-year-old daughter and put them in an oil tank. Allegedly. But this is not allegedly. Go look it up. And a 39-year-old woman is telling me that she's in a relationship with him. Well, she's not telling me. She's telling us, the entire world. She's about to marry him. She was okay with having a makeout session with him. I'm going to forever say, I don't understand how you guys date deadbeats. I don't understand how you date non-ABUS. I just saw her picture. And I can see why she's dating him. She looks just about damn... She looks like she could do what he did, allegedly, so she can't sue me. I'm befuddled. Watts and Henderson were seen canoodling during a visit last August by Lisa Johnson, who was visiting a loved one at Dodge Correctional Institution in Waupun, Wisconsin. He was clutching a Bible as he spoke with her, who was googly-eyed and really excited to take a picture with him. At DCI, inmates are prohibited from any physical contact with loved ones until the end of the visit, when they are allowed 10 seconds to embrace, while conjugal visits are not allowed. What is she getting out of this relationship? They hugged their whole 10 seconds while they were kissing, the person that witnessed this said, adding that the pair also said they loved each other. Prisoners in Wisconsin can submit requests to marry, but only if they meet strict criteria and receive approval from the warden. And this right here on the screen is a picture of his deceased wife that he took her life and the two daughters who he took their life. Mind you, after it happened, he was on the news, just crying, saying that she was missing. Her and the kids were missing, only to fail a polygraph test, then tried to put it on the deceased wife that she was actually the one that took the two girls' life, and then that fell through and he just admitted to the crime. And there's a grown woman at the big ripe age of 39 who's okay with not only dating him but marrying him. I don't want to be judgmental, but there are some things requires judgment. It does. Because people like these are who I'm consistently saying I don't want to be around. You can't be my friend. You can't be an in-law to me. None of this. Because you are okay with dating a man that took the life of his pregnant 34-year-old wife and his two daughters. There are so many allegations of he wanted to go be with a coworker. He could not take the financial strains of having to take care of a family anymore. All that could have just came with a divorce. And there's somebody at the big age of 39 who is dating him. I can't even come up with proper commentary because I'm just befuddled. Just befuddled. He's serving 5 consecutive life sentences for the annihilation of his family 8 years ago. The petroleum industry workers put his hands around his influencer. I didn't even know she was an influencer. Around his wife, who went by the name of Shannon, who was 15 weeks pregnant with the couple's first son at their home in Frederick, Colorado, after the pair had had intimacy. He then put her body in the trunk of his car and drove his two girls an hour outside of town to the oil field where he worked before smothering the two girls too with their blankets and disposing of all 3 bodies in wells. Watch repeatedly lied about what he had done, pretending to be a concerned husband before finally coming clean. He told police he felt trapped by his marriage and wanted to start a new life with his colleague, Nicole Kessinger, with whom he was having an affair. Watts has continued to have a string of pen pal girlfriends and female admirers behind bars. This is why I said cheating for me is a no-no, because he's cheating, having a whole affair, and instead of just exiting the relationship, which he could have done before he began to cheat, you could have just exited the relationship. I'm not doing something for you, whatever that something is. You don't want to bear the financial responsibility of being in a marriage and taking care of a household, which, again, you didn't have to do. You made the choice to do it. But you did it, and now you're finding out that, you know what, this ain't for me. All you had to do was ask for a divorce. All you had to do was deuces, chalk up the deuces, and be out. Instead, you went the extra mile to take the person's life. This is why cheating is a no-no for me, which is why spending time to find out how a person deals with conflict is a major for me. Because if you're a person that can't seem to address conflict in a relationship, if I check your past and you've cheated in all your past relationships, I can't date you. Why? Because of things like these. Now, mind you, this is an extreme. Not everybody does this. Some people do cheat and they do not have the inclination to take a person's life. But how do I know? How do I know? And why would I want to sit around and find out? Now, rest in peace to dear Shannon, and of course to the 2 beautiful little girls that lost their life and the unborn child. But to the person that is now about to date him, if you have custody, you should lose custody of your kids. You make terrible decisions in life. Allegedly. Allegedly. Remember, I don't know the person. I'm just going off of what I see here. And this is just, to me, very disgusting. If we're friends, we got to stop being friends. If we're neighbors, I want to move out the whole damn neighborhood at this point. I don't want you around me. And the same go for the women that date STX offenders. What's the brain process? Like, what are we thinking here? There's so many loose cannons out here just running around outside. You could win and date anyone. Oh, because it's safer. You know, he can't actually take your life. Are you guys fascinated by life takings? Because Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, all these people had fans. Be mindful of who you're friends with. And be mindful of the people that you're around and who they choose to be around and who they're fascinated by. Because the person that finds Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and all these people super fascinating is a person I don't want to be around. And a person that would date a convicted life taker, not even just a convicted life taker, but he took his partner's life and now you're dating him. This is why sometimes you're going to have to call me a victim blamer, because if you're dating a man like this, and he end up doing something to you, am I supposed to be befuddled at that point? I'm going to be befuddled that you choose to date him. But am I supposed to be befuddled when he does to you what he's done to the person that he did in the past? You go date a man that is a known ABU sir, right? And then he ABUs you. Am I supposed to be like, oh my God? You get what I'm getting at? He's a deadbeat. You know he's a deadbeat. He's never taking care of none of his other kids. Okay. You hear him cussing out all his other baby mamas, all these B words this and B words that. And then you go be his baby mama, and now he's a deadbeat to yours. And am I supposed to be befuddled? I'm befuddled you dated him. The befuddling is going to come in the beginning of you getting with him. Not at the end when the results that were guaranteed ends up coming up. Like, what are we doing here? I would like to get into the minds of women that goes and become pen pals to just incarcerated men, period. Never met him, don't know him, you weren't dating with him before, holding him down, and it's crazy. If he was a life taker of his wife and you're still, you're holding him, that's just crazy work to me. But I want to get into the minds of people that become pen pals and to understand why. Like, there's already mass amount of toxic people running around. You could have found a toxic person out here. Why go date a 5-time life sentencer? By the way, he has zero possibility of parole. And not only did he get 5 life sentences, he also got like an extra 40-something years on top of it. And no possibility of parole. Anyways, let's hop over to TikTok, find the same post, and see some of the comments, because this is Read the Comments, and see some of the comments of what people are saying. Because maybe people don't feel how I'm feeling. Maybe you don't feel how I'm feeling. Hop in the comment section and let me know. Am I bugging? A 39-year-old big age grown woman is dating a 5-time life sentencer who took the life of his pregnant wife and his 2 kids. Come on now. Desperation got to come to an end. Seriously. So here we are on TikTok, and we're going to read some of the comments for the video that has been posted. All right, Chris Watts has found love while behind bars and applied for a marriage license. Trevor Bow says, how does he have this right? Somebody said because they let him live. Mind you, he pleaded guilty so that he would not get a life sentence. Not get the death penalty, I mean. He pleaded guilty to taking her life so that he could get life or multiple lives in prison so that he wouldn't lose his life with the DEATH penalty. Somebody said this is hella disturbing. For me too. Somebody say, oh, hell no. Somebody said this is nuts. Chris says, looks like they would plot something together. Yes, the heifer looks batshit crazy herself. Allegedly. This is her picture. This is the picture of the woman that has taken out the... Jesus. It's just... Oh. Somebody said she's trying to gain the rights to any movie or book that comes from his likeliness. Oh. Maybe that's a plot. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe not. Who cares? I don't know. Drummer69 said, so the new girl wants to lose her life too. Makes no sense. Shaven's account responded to that and said, people are obsessed with evil. again, for me personally, if you know for a fact that the person is a deadbeat, the person is a ABU sir, the person is, again, a life taker, you go date him, you end up in the same situation, people are going to have to call me a victim blamer because I'm definitely not giving you victimhood. Now, did he take your life and did you end up becoming a victim? Yes. But will you be like a full-blown, no, your children are full-blown victims. They did not get a choice in not having parents because their mother or their father makes stupid decisions on who they choose to date. The children, your relatives, might be victims because, they didn't have a choice in making you date who you date. You chose who you chose and got the results of those choices. But you're not going to be this big old victim for me. And people are going to just have to cancel me for that because I stand 10 toes on what I said. Somebody said she probably pegs him. She can't do any of that, gentlemen. He's incarcerated doing a life sentence. And yeah, so none of that. Somebody said she's still prettier than my prom date. Ugh. And somebody else says Brock and have her. That's the only comments that are here. Just these 15 comments. It was just posted. I guess that's why. It was posted 3 hours ago. I am befuddled. I am seriously befuddled. Yeah. I'm befuddled. Seriously befuddled. I'm also disgusted, to be honest with you. Tell me how you feel. Hop in my comment section and tell me how you feel about this whole situation. If this was your relative, if this was your sister, what would you be saying? Now let's see from the point of his relatives. If you were his relative, would you still be in contact with him? He did what he did. He's still your blood. Would you still talk to him? Would you still put money on his books? Would you make visits to him? If you were her relative, her being Shannon, which is the pregnant wife that he took her life, and the 2 daughters. If you are her relative, how would you feel when you saw this story? I can tell you right now, I'm disgusted. And if you're his relative, are you putting money in his book? Because he couldn't get a penny out of me. Not a visit, not a penny. No form of love or any form of assistance from me at all. The actions you took are not something that I support, and so it's a no. And if I'm her relative, I wouldn't be at peace. And I would be thinking this, actually, I'll probably say something that I shouldn't say, like, you know what, he shouldn't be in there so that he could do to you what he did to my relative, because obviously you're a Dumbo. I'd probably say something out of that, just out of anger, out of pain of what? So anyways, hop in my comment section and let me know how you feel. We might circle back, so we might have a part 2 just to see the comments that are left on this post later on, maybe like a week from now, to see how people are feeling about it. But let me know how you feel. Anyways, this is Read the Comments. Some of these stories ain't going to be a hee hee ha ha session. It's really going to be me just being befuddled because what? And hop in my comment section. Would you do this? Are you attracted to these types of individuals that are notorious, like the Charles Mansons and, these people that have done these heinous crimes? Are you turned on by it? Are you attracted to it? Do you find them attractive? Are you attracted to danger? Right? Because to be honest, some of you ain't no better than Shorty dating him. You're dating a guy right now that says he's on demon time. You're dating a guy right now that are involved in criminal illicit activities that lead to life taking. And you like that about him. Like, that's what turns you on. Like, that is what you're most attracted to. The fact that he gets busy. As, the streets would say, he gets busy, he gets active. You know his body, right? He on demon time. So technically, you're no better than her. Actually, she's in a better position than you. Why? Because he can't actually do nothing to her. His stupid behind is locked up. You're outside with dude that is taking lives because, again, he's on demon time. Hop in my comment section and let me know. Would you date him? If she's your sister, would you still talk to her for dating him? If she's your sister, your friend, your cousin, and you know that she has children, would you go out of your way to take them kids from her because what are we doing? Or would you say, well, technically she can't really do the kids no harm because he's locked up, so he ain't around the kids. But then she's marrying him and he's going to become the stepfather to her children. Or do you believe that this is a business move on her part? If she marries him, then she gets the rights to his books. She gets money out of it. And would that be enough for you to date him? With the financial gain that could possibly come from it, would you take the risk of marrying him? Seeing that he's locked up, he can't do nothing to you. You're gonna make a couple thou or maybe even a couple mil, depending on what type of book deal and stuff you have going on. And would you take it and actually give him his cut, or would you rob him? Me personally, I would just stay far away from him. I wouldn't date him. I wouldn't date no man that did what he did, whether he's already done his time or not, and regardless of what his story is on why he did it. If I don't care what the story is. Anyways, hop in my comment section and let me know. You already know this is Read the Comments. You can find me in somebody else's comment section just strolling and patrolling these streets. Internet streets, that is. All right? Out.